and welcome to
Instant Finish,
where today we have just listened to Dark Gallifrey, The War Master, Part 2.
We have?
Yeah, so last month we had Lisa Bowerman and David Warner together.
Fabulous.
And no sign of the actual War Master, though, for War Master Part 1. So
the only thing we was a little bit confused about was where was the War Master in this War Master set. But apart from that non-linear story, finding Dark Gallifrey, and we thought it was all sort of tied up at the end of that first one.
So this time we've got Lisa Bowerman back as Bernice. Now we have Derek Jacobi as the War Master.
Yes.
And James Masters as Captain John Hart. Now, on the face of it, it looks like it's one of these, mash up all of these random characters.
It's because on the cover, it just looks like
which
any
is
old
what we're,
future, doesn't it?
You know, very used to.
I must say, Lisa Bowerman looks very fetching in that
lovely
orange jumper
yeah.
she's got with her sort of neck thing.
Yeah, but if you are thinking this is just a random collection of characters, you are wrong, because they
finally
perfectly together here.
Finally, somebody has thought to myself, right, I need to. He probably was given a shopping list: War Master, Captain John from Torchwood, and Bernie Summerfield. And he's like, fuck me, how am I going to bring these people together? I know. I'll tell a story in the first one where Bernice has an adventure, finds Dark Gallifrey, and she's got a secret of his location in her mind. Then, in the second story, all set up on the university, the Brexit Hill University, and this kindly old professor who looks very like the War Master, and this flirtatious young student who looks very like Captain John, both trying to get close to Bernice, and turns out they're trying to find the location of the secret of Dark Gallifrey. It makes perfect sense that they are all in this story. Hallelujah! Someone's finally done it.
Yeah, and it flew by. The hour flew by so quickly. I really enjoyed it. I had no idea where it was going to go. And yeah, at first I was like, how are these characters going to interact? But they really do. And it is like a three-hander, really. It's just these three characters throughout the whole thing.
You know, what you expect from Gallifrey is what we got from that first Morbius one. Sort of dark, big science fiction concepts, ominous portents of doom.
But I mean, there's no...
A bit like, your standard Babylon 5 episode.
But I mean, this was
so light. This was a comedy. This was basically a comedy.
But it was almost like a story from the Bernice series.
3 characters, so simple, small cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
It was
economic.
more like a Bernice episode, I felt like. I didn't feel like I was listening to Dark Gallifrey. I mean, obviously, it's about that and they're talking about, and that's the aim.
Great,
but that's really great. You're not getting because we've got the Gallifrey series, haven't we? Gallifrey War Room and all those other things that are going on. We don't really need any.
Boring.
If you want all of that kind of actual Gallifrey stuff, that's there for you. Good for you. But this is just a fun Bernice adventure with these other characters that you wouldn't imagine crossing paths with.
Very, very witty. Like, we were sitting there listening to this tonight.
Oh, the dialogue
I was laughing
is
my head off.
So funny.
At one point, Captain John goes to the War Master, you cut the Typhonium ambassador in half, and then you made one half eat the other half.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
What were you think? What are your thoughts on actual Captain John Hart? Because I'm not that bothered.
If I'm honest,
I wasn't.
There's that very strange tortured audio where he's having it off with John Barrowman a lot, which is very strange.
But he works very well in this.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Sort of Bernice universe.
He knew how to pitch it just perfectly because he plays so essentially the ruse of this comedy is that they're both pretending to be other people. So Derek Jacobi is pretending to be this kindly professor who's just happens to be interested in the Dark Gallifrey that Bernice went to in the past, and James Masters is playing the student who's flirting terribly with. We've been here a million times, right? The obsequious student, but he's playing it so well because he's a bit pathetic. And then when the facade drops, he's just sort of wisecracking, and he's absolutely bananas.
Is this right? Like, he sort of reminded me a bit of sort of a male Missy, just in terms of the attitude.
Sort of thing.
It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
And I've got to say, Jacobi, who obviously is a superb actor,
yeah.
that fine line he drew here between being very funny and really scary, because by the end of the story, he is choking Bernice to death, and that's horrible. But the scene where, so Bernice doesn't know, but John and the Master both know that they're conning her. And there's a scene in the Master's study in the university where they're both trying to kill each other. And honest to God, you were jumping out of your seat.
Well, no, because we had the earphones in and all like the laser, all that like the noise of the gun.
He was like, ah!
It's a really weird, high-pitched gun noise, and it kept making me jump.
Do you know what it was? It was a laser screwdriver. It was a sound effect from the sound of drums that he uses.
Right.
I
know, but I was like this with my earphones.
But it was so funny.
Yeah.
And it was like a verbal duel and a physical fight at the same time.
Interesting middle part of this trilogy. So we've got another part to go, and it does leave it... Well, actually, no, spoilers. I don't think we should say the last sort of 5 minutes or so. There's a really lovely surprise there. The way that the story sort of wraps up at the end.
For once, I shall not give the spoilers.
No, we won't give the spoiler away. But it's really like heartwarming.
I'll just say something ambiguous that, as a way of tying up something long running, it was perfect. I was so moved.
But we don't know where it's going to go for the third part, so we're really looking forward to that.
Well, you've got John and the Master on Dark Gallifrey being teased by the Abomination.
Yeah, so...
Somehow Bernice is in the next one, and the John Hurt Doctor.
Yeah.
Well.
So it does tie in with that first one. Like, the first one isn't obviously completely standalone, but actually you could listen to this on its own as a fun story. You don't,
refreshing.
You can understand it without hearing the first part,
and with a really great musical score as well. Like, it was almost like a sitcom musical score.
Yeah.
Like, as if the music's telling us not to take it too seriously. Everything that's going on. But yeah, I just thought it was massively entertaining.
I wished actually they brought these out as box sets, these three together, because it would have been a great box set. I just
like,
I want to hear the next one now. I don't want to wait a month.
It's the ultimate refreshment that, something with the title Dark Gallifrey could be this effervescent.
Yeah, it's not what. Yeah,
and I said to you, we have a little walk out, and I said to him, it's just astonishing how consistent Lisa Bowerman has been. And I know we're massive Lisa Bowerman stans. But
stands.
We are. Excuse me. Fish supper. You can have it whenever you want. Come to Eastbourne. We know she likes fish.
We did see her eating fish with Wendy Burberry once. Anyway,
I'm having a tune. If you want a tune, we'll throw that in as well. Anyways, from Oh No It Isn't, which was 1999 to 2024.
Who would have
she's
thought?
Been playing this role for 25 years, and she's as brilliant now as she was then.
Like the perfect professional. She knows it better than anybody at Big Finish.
But
she's
as well,
the most talented person at Big Finish.
This does manage to be almost a little sort of interim between her with the David Warner Doctor and what's coming up, because she has settled down in a university. So this is post the David Warner. So this is the first time we really realised that she's got a life.
I was a bit confused where it's set, but it doesn't matter.
And there's a wonderful moment where Captain John, in his bid to get the knowledge of Dark Gallifrey out of Bernice's head, does a whole exhibition of all the great finds of Bernice's life. So all the things, the Crystal of Cantus, and what else is there? The tie from Love and War, the Monoid's head from Kingdom of the Blind. I don't know. Anyway, we said we'd love to go to that museum, wouldn't we, to see all Bernice's, because she says, well, I haven't really achieved much in my life. And actually, it's a lovely love letter to, this is all that you've done up until this point. And then it's almost like, well, what's coming next? I'm
very excited for the actual Bernice series next month.
Yeah, me too.
We will obviously do an instant finish on that, and part 3 of this next month as well. So
if you
bonus Benny next month
told me that an audio starring Derek Jacobi, Lisa Bowerman, and James Masters would be as funny as this, I would have believed you in a million years.
I was expecting
and James
more.
Goss has just spun a script that's just gold.
I was expecting that more sort of serious tone, especially with Derek Jacobi with the War Master stuff.
I mean, could you see how some people
more of that?
Might think this is a bit irreverent, like not taking itself seriously?
I don't know, but I think if you're a fan of Bernice, you'll love it.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't think it needs. No, it's. Well, we need to see what happens in the third part. This is only part 2.
Yeah, but totally different from the first, and I'm almost willing to bet the last part will be totally different.
Well, it's
from the
all
second.
3 of them again next. Well, they're on the cover next,
and it's James
month,
Goss,
aren't they? So,
just a quick word for James Goss. One of the safest pair of hands you could have.
We've not really talked about him before, have we?
We haven't covered much of his stuff, but you see his name on a script. You know there's going to be great dialogue in there. You know it's going to be well structured. There's going to be interesting ideas and good characterization. I'll keep banging on about this. good characterization. Yeah, another banger.
So give this a try. Get part 1, get part 2, and get part 3 next month.
Never let it be said that Finish Big shits all over the latest stuff that Big Finish bring out. This is really great.
This is going in the right direction.
Although it was very amusing at the start, I've got to say, before we sign off, we had Nick Briggs' usual, for the love of stories, but they've got that ominous dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun music underneath it, as if his proclamation that Big Finish is for the love of stories needs that music.
Oh, I loved his previously on Dark Gallifrey.
Oh, yeah, that was great as well.
The War Master.
Yeah, I really can't fault this.
No.
It was surprising, it was funny, it was entertaining, it was well made.
I want to listen to it again.
This is kind of what I want from Big Finish. Something that surprises me, because I wasn't expecting this at all.
There we are then. Nice and easy one this time. Yeah. We will see you again very soon for another Instant Finish.
That's right. Where are we instant finishing next?
It will be the Sixth Doctor Adventures, the Trials, which is coming up very soon.
Yeah,
of course we're going to do that one.
Colin Baker.
Right, we'll look forward to that then. And in the meantime, along the same lines, don't forget to
instant finish.